This episode is brought to you by Goals Activewear. Goals Activewear is a brand that focuses on basketball wear and attire. Goals Activewear popular collection is score society that promotes elite mindsets for athletes and the everyday person. The best part about Goals Activewear is their clothes of quality and it does not shrink. This hoodie that I'm wearing right now is about a 14-ounce hoodie, really good for the winter season, especially if you're getting done playing basketball, football, and you want something to keep you warm. Goals Activewear has a hoodie for you to take care of all your needs. If you're looking for a gift or you want to remind someone to keep an elite mindset, go check out goalsactivewear.com. Let's get back to the show. Now I'm gonna say this part of the story because this part of the story is important, especially if you're a young entrepreneur or if you're a person who had a job and you want to become an entrepreneur. I worked at this car rental place and it was a 9 to 5, right? This was important because I needed stability. Like I was behind on tickets. I was behind on rent. I was behind on so many bills. I needed stability. I needed, I remind you, remember, I'm not young. I'm not 21, 22. I'm not living with my parents. I'm out here by myself. I don't have no one to call back home and say, hey, can you send me $2,000? Can you send me $1,000? No one was there for that. So I had to have money coming in at all times. So when I started working at this rental car place, I started to create some stability. I started to get on track with my bills, and my debt started to go down, or whatever the case may be. And it took me about 7 months to maybe a year to get back on my feet. Like when I say back on my feet, I'm not talking about just being able to eat. I'm talking about like having everything in good standards. Like it took a lot of discipline. And the discipline was like not going out. I'm like anybody else, man. I love a beautiful woman. So yes, I want to go on dates, but I just couldn't do none of that stuff. I had to sit still for a little bit, and that's sometimes the journey requires that. So after a year or so, I started to think about like what I love to do. I don't like quitting, so I'm still kind of tiptoeing around that whole like being a manager thing. So I found this band. I knew this guy who was in a band, and he was like, yo, we're looking for a manager. So I'm teetering between that and finding what I love to do. So one day, I'm in the car on my lunch break, and my friend hits me up like, yo, man, how you doing? And I'm letting him know how I'm doing, which wasn't good at the time. And he said, yo, man, why'd you step away from basketball? And I was just on the whole thing like, oh, it don't make no money, it don't do this, it don't do that. And then he was telling me like, man, I made $5,000 training kids. And I'm like, what? Like, in my mind, I didn't hear them numbers. I didn't know those numbers was possible training kids.